The villagers gasped as Amara collapsed in the middle of the festival square. The drums stopped abruptly, and whispers spread like wildfire. Just moments ago, she had been the star of the new Yam Festival, dancing with such grace that even the elders nodded in admiration. Now she lay motionless on the ground, her vibrant wrapper stained with dust. It all started that morning when Amara woke up with excitement bubbling inside her. The new Yam Festival was the most anticipated event in their village, and she had been chosen to lead the traditional dance. It was an honor that could change her life forever. Amara was not just a good dancer, she was the best in the village. Her feet moved with the rhythm of the drums as if she was born for it. But more than that, she was beautiful. Her dark skin glowed in the sunlight, and her smile had a way of making people forget their worries. However, despite her beauty and talent, she was from a poor background. Her father had died when she was young, and her mother struggled to provide for her and her younger siblings. That morning, she had braided her hair carefully, tied her best wrapper, and stepped out of their small hut with her best friend Chica by her side. Chica had always been there for her, through hunger, through struggles, through late-night conversations under the moon. They had promised to always support each other, no matter what. The festival square was crowded, with villagers and visitors from different places. Among them was a wealthy businessman named Kenneth. He had come from the city to witness the festival and possibly find business opportunities in the village. He sat among the elders, watching the performances with little interest until Amara stepped forward. The moment she started dancing, everything changed. The way her body moved with the rhythm, the way her eyes sparkled with passion, it was as if the gods themselves had blessed her with the gift of dance. The crowd cheered, clapped, and whistled, but none of that mattered to Amara. She was lost in the moment, her spirit soaring with the music. Kenneth was mesmerized. He had never seen anyone dance like that before. It wasn't just about the steps, it was the way she carried herself, the way she made every movement look effortless. By the time she finished, he knew he had to meet her. When Amara stepped away from the square, breathing heavily, Chica rushed to her side. "You were amazing," Chica gushed. Amara laughed. "Did you see the way they clapped? I can't believe it." Before Chica could respond, an elder approached them. "Young lady, the visitor from the city wants to meet you," he said. Amara's eyes widened. "Me?" The elder nodded. "Come with me." As Amara walked towards the gathering of elders, she felt her heart race. She had never spoken to a rich man before. What could he possibly want from her? Kenneth smiled as she approached. "You are a wonderful dancer," he said, his voice deep and warm. "Thank you, sir," Amara said shyly, lowering her gaze. "I would love to know more about you," Kenneth continued. "Perhaps after the festival we can talk." Amara hesitated. This was unexpected. I will think about it," Kenneth chuckled. "Take your time." As she walked back to where Chica stood, Amara couldn't contain her excitement. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. "A rich man wants to talk to me." Chica's smile faltered for a brief second, but Amara didn't notice. "That's wonderful," Chica said, forcing enthusiasm into her voice. That night, as the festival celebrations continued, Amara couldn't stop thinking about Kenneth. Maybe, just maybe, this was her chance at a better life. But Chica, standing in the shadows, had different thoughts. Chica tossed and turned on her mat, unable to sleep. The flickering light from their palm oil lamp cast strange shadows on the walls, but it wasn't the darkness keeping her awake. It was Amara. Since they were children, Chica had always been the one people noticed first. She was outspoken, confident, and knew how to make people laugh. But lately, things had changed. Amara, the girl from the struggling home, was suddenly the center of attention. The way Kenneth had looked at her during the festival, it was the kind of look every girl in the village dreamed of. Chica clenched her fists. "Why does she get everything?" she muttered under her breath. The next morning, Amara rushed to Chica's hut, her face glowing with excitement. Chica, you won't believe it. Kenneth sent a message through the elders. He wants to take me to the city. Chica's smile was tight. The city? So soon? Not immediately, Amara said, shaking her head. He said he wants to know me better first. Chica forced a laugh. That's good news. But inside, jealousy burned. As the days passed, Amara and Kenneth spent more time together. They took walks through the village, sat under the mango tree near the river, and spoke about life beyond the hills. Kenneth told her about his businesses, his travels, and the comfort of city life. Amara listened, wide-eyed, dreaming of a life beyond fetching water and pounding yam. Chica watched from a distance, her stomach twisting with resentment. To one evening, as the sun painted the sky orange, Amara pulled Chica aside. Chica, I want you to be my chief bridesmaid. Chica's heart pounded. Your what? Amara grinned. Kenneth has asked me to marry him. Chica blinked rapidly, forcing back the shock. That's wonderful, Amara. Amara squeezed her hands. You've been my best friend all my life. I can't do this without you. Chica nodded slowly, her mind racing. That night she sat alone, her thoughts dark and restless. This should have been me, she whispered. Then an idea formed in her mind. She would stop this wedding, no matter what. The night breeze whispered through the trees as Chica sat outside her hut, deep in thought. The village was quiet, but her mind was restless. Amara's happiness gnawed at her like a persistent itch she couldn't scratch. How could her best friend, the girl who once had nothing, now have everything? Chica took a deep breath. I have to stop this, she muttered. The next morning, she put her plan into motion. She had always known that people in the village were drawn to gossip, and she knew exactly where to start. At the market square, she struck up a conversation with Mama Obi, the woman who sold dried fish and knew everything about everyone. Mama Obi, Chica began casually, have you heard about Amara and Kenneth? The old woman's ears perked up. Eh? Tell me, my daughter. Chica sighed as if she were struggling with her words. I shouldn't be saying this, but she hesitated, making sure she had Mama Obi's full attention. I just hope Kenneth knows what he's getting into. Mama Obi leaned in. What do you mean? Chica glanced around, lowering her voice. Amara is not as innocent as she seems. There are things about her past that would shock you. Mama Obi gasped, her eyes widening. What things? Chica smiled inwardly. I can't say too much, but if you listen carefully, you'll hear the whispers soon enough. She left the market square, satisfied. She didn't need to say much. She had planted the seed. The villagers would take care of the rest. By evening, whispers had begun to spread. The elders exchanged knowing glances. Women huddled in groups, their voices hushed but urgent. Did you hear? One woman whispered. They say Amara has a hidden past. Eh? And Kenneth wants to marry her? Another asked in shock. Men never see the truth until it's too late. The rumours travelled fast, reaching even the ears of Kenneth's trusted friend, Emeka. Concerned, Emeka pulled Kenneth aside. My friend, are you sure about this marriage? Kenneth frowned. Why do you ask? Emeka hesitated. People are talking. They say Amara is not who she claims to be. Kenneth laughed. Gossip, that's all it is. But don't you think you should find out for yourself? Emeka pressed. Kenneth considered his words. Amara has always been honest with me. I have no reason to doubt her. But later that night, doubt crept in. The next morning, Kenneth went to see Amara. She welcomed him with a bright smile, but he was more serious than usual. Amara, he said gently, there are rumours about you in the village. Do you know anything about them? Amara's smile faded. Rumours? What kind of rumours? Kenneth hesitated. That you have secrets, that you're not who you claim to be. Amara's heart pounded. You don't believe them, do you? Kenneth sighed. I don't know what to believe. Tears welled in Amara's eyes. Kenneth, I have never lied to you. Kenneth studied her face. I want to trust you, but the rumors are everywhere. Amara clenched her fists. Who would do this to her? Who wanted to destroy her happiness? As she sat alone that evening, staring at the fading sun, the answer came to her like a sharp slap. Chica.
Amara's chest tightened as she sat outside her hut, staring blankly at the darkening sky. The weight of the rumors pressed heavily on her, but what hurt the most was knowing that they had started with Chica, the one person she had trusted with everything. The village had suddenly changed towards her. People who once smiled at her now whispered behind her back. Some turned away when she greeted them. Even the elders, who had praised her dancing just weeks ago, now watched her with suspicion. She couldn't let this continue. She needed to confront Chica. The next morning, she made her way to Chica's hut, her heart pounding with a mix of anger and sadness. She found her best friend outside, pounding yam with a forced look of innocence on her face. Chica, Amara said, her voice firm but calm. Chica looked up, feigning surprise. Amara, what brings you here so early? Amara crossed her arms. I'll ask you once. Did you start those rumors about me? Chica's hands stilled on the mortar. What rumors? Don't pretend, Amara said, her voice trembling. People are saying I have a hidden past. They are looking at me differently, and I know it started with you. Chica wiped her hands on her wrapper, shaking her head. Amara, you know I would never do that to you. People talk. You can't blame me for what others say. Amara studied her closely. The way Chica avoided her eyes, the slight smirk hidden beneath her words. It was enough proof. Kenneth is doubting me because of these lies, Amara said, her voice barely above a whisper. Do you know what that feels like? Chica shrugged. If he truly loves you, he won't listen to rumors. Amara stepped closer. You were supposed to be my friend. Chica smiled, but there was no warmth in it. And I am. That's why I hope you make the right decision. Amara's stomach twisted. What do you mean? Chica picked up the pestle again. Maybe Kenneth isn't the right man for you. Maybe you should let go before you get hurt. Amara's hands curled into fists. You want me to lose him, don't you? Chica's smile widened, but she said nothing. Amara turned sharply and walked away, her heart pounding. She had thought confronting Chica would bring her closure, but instead it only confirmed her worst fears. Chica wasn't just jealous. She was determined to see her fail. But Amara wouldn't let that happen. That evening, Kenneth arrived at her hut. He looked tired, as though the rumors had drained the life from him. Amara, he said softly, I need you to be honest with me. Is there anything I should know? Amara took his hands, looking straight into his eyes. Kenneth, there is nothing in my past that I am ashamed of. If you love me, you will believe me, and not the lies people are telling. Kenneth exhaled slowly. I want to believe you, but the pressure is too much. Even my business partners are hearing the rumors. Amara's heart sank. So you would rather believe them than me? Kenneth hesitated. I just need time to think. As he walked away, Amara felt a sharp ache in her chest. Chica's plan was working. Amara sat outside her hut, watching the village settle into the evening. The smell of roasting corn filled the air, and children's laughter echoed in the distance. But inside her heart there was no peace. Kenneth had been distant for days. He still greeted her warmly, still smiled when he saw her. But something had changed. The easy confidence in his voice was gone, replaced by hesitation. The rumors had done their damage, and Chica's plan was working. Amara knew she had to act before it was too late. The next morning she went to the village square, where the elders gathered under the large udala tree. It was rare for a young woman to approach them directly, but Amara had no choice. She stood tall, ignoring the curious whispers around her. Respected elders, she began, her voice steady. I have come to clear my name. The men exchanged glances. Chief Okonkwo, the oldest among them, leaned forward. Amara, we have heard many things about you. What do you wish to say? Amara took a deep breath. I have done nothing wrong. I have no hidden past. I have lived in this village all my life, worked hard, and never harmed anyone. Yet, someone is spreading lies about me. She scanned their faces. I ask only one thing. If anyone has proof of these rumors, let them come forward now. A silence fell over the square. The villagers who had gathered to listen shifted uneasily. Chief Okonkwo nodded. You have spoken well. We cannot judge without proof. He turned to the crowd. Does anyone here have anything against Amara? The people murmured, looking at one another. No one spoke up. Kenneth, who had been standing at a distance, watched the scene unfold. Slowly, realization dawned on him. Amara was right. There had never been any truth to the whispers, only empty gossip designed to ruin her. That evening, he went to see her. Amara, he said softly, I was wrong to doubt you. She looked at him, searching his face. Do you believe me now? Kenneth nodded. Yes, and I am sorry for ever questioning you. Relief washed over Amara, but she knew their troubles weren't over. Chica had failed this time, but she wouldn't stop trying, and Amara needed to be ready. The village buzzed with excitement. The elders had cleared Amara's name, and Kenneth had returned to her side. People now looked at her with admiration instead of suspicion. But despite this victory, Amara knew one person was not celebrating, Chica. Chica sat in her hut, her jaw clenched as she listened to the village women discuss Amara's upcoming marriage. She is lucky, one of them said. A poor girl marrying a wealthy man. It must be fate. Fate? Chica scoffed. This was not fate. It was a mistake. A mistake she would correct. She knew she had to act fast. The wedding preparations had begun, and soon Amara would leave for the city. If she wanted to stop this, she had to strike before it was too late. That evening, she made her way to Kenneth's home. His compound was quiet, the only sound coming from the distant croaking of frogs. She hesitated for a moment, then knocked on the wooden door. Kenneth opened it, surprised to see her. Chica! She smiled, tilting her head slightly. May I come in? Kenneth stepped aside, allowing her inside. He gestured toward a wooden stool. What brings you here? Chica sighed dramatically. Kenneth, I've been thinking a lot about everything that has happened. I just want what's best for you. Kenneth frowned. What do you mean? She lowered her voice. I know you love Amara, but are you sure she's the right one? Kenneth stiffened. I've made my decision, Chica. Chica placed a hand on his arm, her eyes pleading. I just don't want you to regret it later. You are a successful man. You need a wife who truly understands your world. Kenneth gently removed her hand. That wife is Amara. Chica's smile faltered, but she quickly recovered. Of course. If you are certain, then I will support you. She left his home with her heart pounding. He hadn't fallen for her words, but that didn't mean she was out of options. If she couldn't make Kenneth leave Amara, perhaps she could make Amara leave Kenneth. The next morning she went to Amara's hut with a forced smile. Amara, can we talk? Amara folded a piece of fabric and placed it in her wooden trunk. What is it? Chica sighed. I just want to make peace. I don't want us to go our separate ways with bitterness. Amara studied her. And why should I believe you? Chica forced a small laugh. Because we were friends before anything else. I don't want to lose that. Amara remained silent for a moment, then nodded. All right. What do you want to say? Chica took a deep breath. Marriage is not always what it seems. Kenneth is wealthy and kind. But are you truly ready for that life? The city is different from the village. It will change you. Amara's expression didn't waver. I know it will be different, but Kenneth and I will face it together. Chica sighed. I just don't want you to end up trapped in something you can't handle. Amara's eyes narrowed. Chica, I know what you're doing. You failed to turn Kenneth against me, so now you want me to doubt myself. Chica forced a laugh. That's not true. It is, Amara interrupted, but I won't fall for it. Chica's nails dug into her palm. This was not how it was supposed to go. As Amara turned back to her packing, Chica's mind raced. There had to be another way, and she would find it. The morning of the wedding arrived with a golden sunrise, casting a warm glow over the village. Women bustled around Amara's hut, dressing her in a beautifully woven wrapper, carefully tying beads around her wrists and neck. Laughter and cheerful voices filled the air, but, deep inside, Amara remained on edge. She hadn't seen Chica in 2 days. That alone was enough to make her uneasy. Meanwhile, Chica sat inside her hut, staring blankly at the wall. Every attempt she had made to stop the wedding had failed. Kenneth and Amara had only grown stronger, and now, in a few hours, they would be married. Her fingers gripped the edge of her wooden stool. She had one last chance to change things. As the village gathered under the big udala tree for the ceremony, Chica arrived, dressed in a dazzling blue wrapper. She carried herself with confidence, a smile playing at the corners of her lips. No one suspected a thing. Kenneth stood tall, waiting for Amara to be presented. His heart raced as he watched her approach, her beauty making him forget the months of turmoil they had endured. She smiled at him, but before she could reach his side, a voice rang out. Wait! Gasps rippled through the crowd as all eyes turned to Chica, who stepped forward with a solemn expression. Kenneth frowned. Chica, what is the meaning of this? Chica sighed dramatically. I know this is not the time, but I cannot keep silent anymore. She turned to Amara, her voice gentle yet firm. Before you marry Kenneth, there is something you must know. A murmur spread through the crowd. Amara lifted her chin. If you have something to say it. Chica hesitated, as if struggling with her words. I have been keeping a secret, one that I can no longer hide. Kenneth and we have been in love for a long time. Silence fell over the crowd. Eyes darted between Chica and Kenneth, waiting for his reaction. Kenneth's brows furrowed in disbelief. What? Chica turned to him, her eyes filled with false sincerity. Kenneth, I know you may be surprised, but deep down, you must feel it too. The connection we've always had, the way we understand each other. The tension in the air thickened. Amara's heart pounded, but instead of reacting with anger, she simply looked at Kenneth, waiting for him to speak. Kenneth took a deep breath, then stepped forward. Chica, I don't know what you're trying to do, but this is not true. Chica's smile faltered. Kenneth, please. I have never loved anyone but Amara, he said firmly. And I never will. The crowd erupted into whispers. Chica's face burned with embarrassment. This was her final attempt, and she had failed. Again. Amara stepped forward, her voice steady. Chica, I see you now for who you truly are. You were never my friend. Tears welled in Chica's eyes, but she held them back. I only wanted what was best for you, she whispered. Amara shook her head. No, you only wanted what was best for yourself. With that, she turned back to Kenneth, slipping her hand into his. The elders proceeded with the ceremony, and as the village cheered, Chica felt the weight of her own jealousy crushing her. She had spent so much time trying to take away Amara's happiness that she had lost sight of her own. As Amara and Kenneth began their new life together, Chica walked away, realizing too late that jealousy had cost her everything.